Good morning. Welcome to this devotion. On site, we use this stuff called danger tape and to show people where not to go. Because it's a potential danger, so we mark off areas where we're repairing cranes overhead, or we are stripping formwork from concrete that's hardened, and we don't want people to walk underneath there, that sort of thing. And to be honest with you, it doesn't work. People still cross the danger tape because they think it's so easy to get over. You would think that the very name danger tape would scare the living daylights out of everyone and keep them out the area. But it doesn't happen. So now we use hard barricades to keep people out of the dangerous areas where it's more of an effort to get past the barricade, or what we used to have as danger tape. And you won't believe me, but people still don't listen. People still climb over barricades, and we still have people getting hurt on site just purely because they ignore where we obviously warn them there's danger. And we do something similar in our lives. We put up boundaries around us where we don't allow and don't want people to cross. We put boundaries up in our personal lives, that when people are allowed to touch what and when people are not allowed to touch, what people are allowed to say to us and when they're allowed to say what they say. And these are all good, and I highly recommend that you put up your danger tape, or you put up your boundaries around you, and you maintain them. You guard them, you guard your boundaries, and you look after them. One of the ways I do this with my 3-year-old is I ask him for something. I don't just take it. And when I want to give him something, I don't just shove it in his hand. I offer it to him. And it works well. And even when I pick him up, I either warn him I'm going to pick him up, or ask him if I can pick him up. Now this is great, and I recommend it to everyone. It gives them some good life lessons, and hopefully carries it forward in his life. But the problem isn't the boundaries of ourselves that is always the biggest problem. The problem is when there are people around us putting up boundaries and we ignore those and we don't see them. We say what we want to say, we touch what we want to touch, we do what we want to do regardless of other people. And it's important for us to appreciate boundaries of other people because they're not always the same as ours. The other day I was building a puzzle with my little one, and he took a piece of the puzzle out of my hand because he knew where it must go. So I retaliated by not taking it by grabbing it from him, and he was shocked, and he was tears, and he cried, and I asked him what's wrong. He says, you grabbed, Grandpa. And I said to him, but you grabbed from me, and I didn't cry. And I could just see the cogs spinning in his head. Anyway, I said to him, don't grab, rather ask. And I gave it back to him. And we all like that. When we got our boundaries and people cross them, we are quick to raise a red flag, and rightfully so. But the ability to be able to recognize other people's boundaries, that's where the true gift lies. Because their boundaries could be very, very different to your and my boundaries. Jesus teaches us to love one another, and respecting and looking out for other people's boundaries is an expression of love. It's part of loving other people. I hope that each of us are able to maintain and guard our boundaries in a loving way. And I also hope that each of us can identify and respect the boundaries of people around us, especially when they are radically different to ours. Until we meet again, God bless.